Today's edition of Pittsburgh Steelers Talk is sponsored by Mint Mobile. They are changing the game in cell phone wireless plan coverage with plans starting at just $15 a month, and it runs on the largest 5G network. Make the switch today if you're trying to save some money over at mintmobile.com/chatsports. Here's what's coming up on today's fairly loaded edition of Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. Some news and rumors. Zach Wilson in line to start. Some Minkah Fitzpatrick injury news and notes and updates on that front. The Steelers' defensive line, at least on the depth chart, has been tweaked. We'll see if that's accurate or not come game day. A idea of benching Ahkello Witherspoon, and Mitchell Trubisky's latest comments on OC Matt Canada. He's back in Canada, the person, not the country. We begin, though, with Zach Wilson, since the Steelers play the Jets in Week 4 this week. Wilson, who suffered that knee injury in the preseason, has been medically cleared to return to action, and barring a setback or something bad in practice, he is going to start for the Jets this week at quarterback, the first time all year, after a very forgetful rookie season. 55.6% completion rate through the air, 9 touchdowns, 11 INTs. This comes as the Jets lose another offensive tackle. They're down their top 3 tackles, and no NFL team is equipped to handle that. But Joe Flacco, the elite man himself, or at least the once elite quarterback, not elite anymore, he was fine for the Jets, and they had some very good passing attacks going. Some big games for Flacco, who's averaging almost 300 yards per game on a very high volume, though. I don't know how good Zach Wilson is going to be. This could be better for Pittsburgh, or it could be worse. There's a high degree of variance here of like Zach Wilson as his breakout game finally looks like the guy the Jets thought they were getting when they took him number 2 overall in the 2022 or 2021 NFL draft, or no, 22 draft, that was right. No, 21, I'm an idiot. Or he continues to not look very good, and it's like, well, he's not the guy anymore, and the interceptions return, and he's just not that great of a player despite all those playmakers for the Jets. Maybe his better mobility benefits New York with the offensive line. So I am very curious how things fare when it comes to Zach Wilson getting the start. So what do you think? Does Wilson playing against the Steelers give the Pittsburgh Steelers a better or worse chance at winning? They are favored, by the way. I think they do win this game. But what do you think? B for better, W for worse? Sound off for me in the comments section. Let's talk injury now. Minkah Fitzpatrick, the superstar safety himself, who was the biggest reason, I think, why you won in Week 1 over the Bengals. He is in concussion protocol now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The timing of this should be okay. You had the extra recovery time there. Hopefully Minkah can go. Concussions are tricky. Sometimes it's a 3-day recovery. Sometimes it's a full 7-day. I would hope he's able to play. If he cannot go, I would assume Trey Norwood is the next man up in that Minkah Fitzpatrick role. Damontae Kazee, of course, is on IR and then has a suspension, and you don't want Miles Killebrew playing that Minkah Fitzpatrick type of role. Norwood, I kind of almost want to give him some nickel corner. So that's just me, but make no mistake, even though I do like Trey Norwood, he's not Minkah Fitzpatrick. That is, I think Minkah's the best safety, or at least one of the best safeties in the entire NFL. Probably no worse than 3 if you rank them properly and you actually know ball and whatnot. I like Norwood. You better hope and pray that Minkah's out there because you're already down TJ Watt, of course. Now, I want you guys to help us grow this channel. The more views we get, the more subscribers we get, and the more videos we can do for you guys. Launch a live show maybe even here on Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. Help us out. Share today's video and help grow our Steelers channel. You can do it on Facebook, for example. Click the share button, hit that Facebook icon, tag us at Chat Sports so we know what's going on. Use the Steelers hashtag, here we go, and then click post as well. That way we can keep growing and do even more for you guys here at Pittsburgh Steelers Talk. Next up have been some changes to the depth chart for the Steelers, as at least along the defensive tackle spot, adjustments have been made in the, I'll emphasize again, unofficial depth chart. Montravius Adams is listed as the starter at nose guard / defensive tackle over Tyson Alualu, who I think did not play very well at all against the Cleveland Browns. I know there are some Tyson truthers out there from our previous discussions on him. Adams, a guy I liked a lot coming out of Auburn. Way too high on him. I am curious to see if he will actually get a shot at playing more. Tyson has been the leader over Adams in snap counts against the Browns, or for just example, the most recent game against the Browns. I thought Alualu really struggled in that game. He didn't look great against the run nor the pass. I am curious if Adams will actually get a shot this week as a starter, quote unquote. Now, if you want to make a change, how about Mint Mobile? Maybe inflation's hitting you pretty hard. Mint Mobile, owned by Ryan Reynolds, the star of the upcoming Deadpool 3 movie, with Hugh Jackman, by the way, back as Wolverine. Yeah, and he owns Wrexham FC. Wrong football, though, producer Jeremy. Mint Mobile, though, is the best when it comes to cell phone wireless coverage. Unlimited talk and text. Plans start at $15 a month, and it runs on the largest 5G network. Mint Mobile is the good version of Deadpool, not the X-Men Origins version of Deadpool, where his mouth was sewn shut, and that was stupid as all get out there. Mint Mobile is what you want. Make the switch today. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Plans start at $15 a month. Don't just take my word or Ryan's word for it. You can take my mom's word. She's made the switch to Mint Mobile. My sisters have as well. They love it. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Links in the comments section and in the description. Let's talk Ahkello Witherspoon. So Bleacher Report put out an article with one player each team needs to bench. And apparently going Chase Claypool behind George Pickens wasn't an option. I digress. They picked Ahkello Witherspoon. Here was their explanation. Quote, the news that Joe Haden officially decided to retire last week had a sting for the Steelers, especially with the way Witherspoon has played. First off, Haden wasn't coming back, so no, I don't really think that really stung. Like, they moved on, right? Come on. The 27-year-old is struggling as a team has led him to be a full-time starter. Opposing quarterbacks are finding him often. He's been targeted 21 times, conceding 15 catches for 175 and 2 touchdowns with a pass rating of 108.2, which is not very good. It's been a frustrating development for the Steelers. Witherspoon was much better as a spot starter and backup for the team last year. In 9 games, he held opposing quarterbacks to a passer rating of 35.1. To make matters worse, Witherspoon suffered a hamstring to him out of Thursday night game against the Browns, so Mike Tomlin might have to bench him anyway. New addition Levi Wallace doesn't look that great either, so the Steelers might want to keep an eye out for trade candidates at quarterback. Offense only going to continue to find him in coverage if they don't find a solution. I would agree that Witherspoon has not played great, nor up to expectations. Cam Sutton's played pretty well. I'd also make note that especially against, the Bengals, for example, the opposing receivers are pretty darn good. I don't think Levi Wallace is the answer. This is why I was worried, right, about the cornerback situation for Pittsburgh. I think Sutton's outplayed Witherspoon pretty easily. I was optimistic about Witherspoon being a nice piece for you. I don't think Arthur Mallett's played that great in the nickel, by the way, either. But I feel like just trade for someone is kind of a cop-out answer from Bleacher Report. Give me a name. Give me an action. Like, I know you're doing the whole one player to bench, like, got to have a viable option. I think Witherspoon is still better than Levi Wallace. I don't have a plan in place to just bench him. So I need more from you, Bleacher Report, if you're going to go that route. Give me a name as a trade target. Could be Sidney Jones if you want to go poach the Seahawks corner again. But give me something beyond, well, just find somebody else. I think that's kind of a cop-out. But do you want the Steelers to bench Ahkello Witherspoon? Let me know in the comment section. Y for yes, N for no. Next up, quarterback Mitch Trubisky, who's been backed by Mike Tomlin as his team's starter, has also backed up Matt Canada's play calls. Here's what Trubisky had to say. On film, you've seen the improvements. We just haven't been making those big plays or scoring as many points as I think we should have. The plays were there on film. We just got to go make them, and it comes down to execution in more detail throughout practice. Sometimes it's just reps. It's sometimes just an indication that we're going to have a great week. We've got a bunch of great calls. Matt has been calling good games and putting us in good spots. We've just got to go out and make the plays for him and this offense. Look, on one hand, I wouldn't want my quarterback saying anything else. You always publicly back your offensive coordinator, even if you don't think he's doing a great job. Although, if the quarterback thinks that the coordinator's doing a good job, doesn't that mean it's the quarterback's fault? I don't think it's your receiver's fault. I don't think it's your O-line fault. it stopped short of Trubisky saying, I got to do better. He said we because that's what you do as a quarterback, whether it's your fault or your credit. You always say we, make it a team thing. I kind of don't think Trubisky's been that great so far, which we knew was a real possibility entering this season. That is it for today's show. If you made it to the end of today's video, go down there and type in "Here we go" in the comments section, and producer Chugs will show you some love here in there.